Okay, I think everybody should be able to see the presentation. Please, if you can't hear me, let me know, Michelle, if I need to talk louder.
I know. I think you're good, Vanessa. I can hear you and I can see your screen, so you're good.
Perfect. Awesome. So good evening, Councillor Harris, staff, and members of the public. As Michelle's introduced, I'm Vanessa Simpson from Innovative Planning Solutions. I'm the planner on the proposed development for 405 Essa Road here in Barrie. Tonight, I'll be presenting the proposed development as it relates to the proposed application for zoning bylaw amendment. The intent of tonight's meeting is really just to receive feedback from the neighborhood and provide clarification on the proposed development. And at the end of the presentation, I will be more than happy to try to answer any questions that anybody might have. So I think many of us are familiar with the subject lands. They're obviously located on the west side of Essa Road, north of the Ferndale and Veterans Drive intersection. The site is approximately 0.27 hectares with 45.45 meters of frontage along Essa, and the site also has frontage along City View. The lands are currently vacant, and some of the adjacent land uses include 3-story townhouses to the north, commercial plaza across the street, and single detached dwellings to the south and east. As Michelle noted, we all do, or probably most of us know that there is some history on this site, and I'm briefly going to highlight some of these background information for us. So a zoning bylaw amendment was submitted in October 2017. This was to rezone the lands to RM2 with special provisions. The proposal, which you see here in front of us, it was for a concept with 16 townhouses, which range from 3 to 4 stories in height, with a density of 60 units per hectare. This application was approved by the city in 2018, and later the decision was appealed. And then, as Michelle noted, it was approved at the LPAT in March 2021. This is the neighborhood and surrounding area for the subject lands. The subject lands are shown in red. As many know, Essa Road is identified as an intensification corridor. So you can see the Essas here. This is Veterans with Ferndale, turning into Ferndale. It's an area that has seen redevelopment and intensification in recent years and will continue to see redevelopment and intensification into the future. The neighborhood area shown here has a wide range of uses, including residential uses from 2-story single detached dwellings to 8-story mixed use buildings. There are a number of 6-story condominium buildings approved and or developed already along the Essa Road corridor. So we have the Pratt development, and then there's also a couple 6-story residential projects that have been approved on the other side of Essa Road that have not started construction yet, but they have been approved. And then at the intersection of Essa and Ferndale and Veterans, we have a 6-story and an 8-story mixed use buildings proposed here. Also, there is the commercial plaza, which provides a number of amenities to the neighboring area. So this is one of the applications that have been recently approved, 390 Essa Road. It's directly across the street from the subject lands. And it's approved for a 6-story apartment building containing 74 dwelling units, a density of 220 units per hectare, with 7 affordable units. The site provides surface parking, 1 space per unit, and a reduced ratio of 0.6 spaces per affordable unit. And this is the concept that's being that has been approved for 440 Essa Road. This is just at the intersection of, just south of the intersection of Veterans, Ferndale, and Essa. It's been approved for 8-story mixed-use building, providing ground floor commercial use and 7 stories of residential use containing 194 units with a density of 387 units per hectare. The site provides some surface parking, but also underground parking with a ratio of 1 space per unit. The existing land use designation is residential, with the existing zoning being RM2 with special provision. This illustration provides the building elevation for the proposed development fronting Essa. So this would be the view along the Essa Road corridor. The development includes 8 stories, providing 115 units, which include 6 townhouse units, 103 condominium units, and 6 mixed-use units. It is intended that 15% of the housing units will be affordable units. 100 parking spaces are provided, which are mostly covered or underground parking spaces. And the building features stepped back building heights, which can be seen here in these steps. This is kind of what the steps are when we refer to that language. And you'll see more of that in the images coming up. So this is a site plan. It's rather schematic, just to try to demonstrate the layout of the site. So the townhouses, these are the townhouses. They'd be 3 stories in height and they front city view. These units in purple are the mixed use units. They front Essa and they are 2 stories in height. And the apartment building is within the center of the site, which also extends on top of the mixed use units. It would kind of come on top of these units. You'll see it better in the next illustration. And provides a step back in the height as the building increases. The entrance, obviously you can see off Essa Road, and there's a outdoor amenity area. In addition, there is indoor amenity area provided on a number of the floors throughout the building, as well as outdoor rooftop amenity areas. This is a cross section of the site in the other direction. So this is city view on this side, and then this would be Essa Road on the opposite. So you can see the townhouses on this side. So the city view side has the 3-story townhouses with the step back to the building. And the Essa Road side has the mixed use units, which would be the gray block here, which then steps back to the apartment building and then again steps back for the taller 8-story portion. You can see here are some of the rooftop amenity areas where you see the blue glass railings. This is a 3D image, which provides you an idea of what the massing may look like. Obviously, you can see the entrance, which comes underneath this portion of the building. All the parking is hidden in behind the building. Again, these are the mixed use units, which would have frontage onto Essa, where somebody could have a small storefront or office use. Again, you can see the step backs that are provided throughout the building and the rooftop amenity areas. And another view of the Essa Road frontage. So the zoning bylaw amendment application, if submitted currently, intends to rezone the site from the RM2 special provision to the mixed use MU2 zone with special provisions. A few special provisions are currently requested or required for the proposed development. A rear yard setback to the EP zone would be required. Minimum parking ratio reduction would be required. Enclosed underground parking area setback. So this relates only to the portion of the building that is underground for the parking structure, would be required for a 0-meter setback to Essa Road. This would not be visible from ground level. It would all be buried. And landscape buffer reduction of 1.2 meters to the north, which is the Essa Road Phase 2 development to the internal road would also be requested. So just to highlight a little bit of policy information. Policy is key for this development and has been reviewed to ensure conformity. So the official plan provides policy which supports the application. So locational criteria encourages medium and high density development, residential development along intensification nodes and corridors such as Essa Road. The site is adjacent to an arterial road, that being Essa Road. It's in close proximity to transit and facilities such as schools, parks, and commercial development, all which fall into the locational criteria where higher medium density is proposed. In addition, municipal services such as roads, sewers, and water mains are required, which are provided along the Essa Road corridor. The second section of policy that's important to highlight is the intensification policies. Achieved through residential conversion, infill, and redevelopment to promote an increase in planned built densities and to achieve desirable compact urban form. Intensification will contribute to development that is more compact and will efficiently use the land and resources, optimize the use of existing and new infrastructure and services, support public transit and active transportation, and contribute to improving air quality and promoting energy efficiency. The proposed development intends to meet these policies as it's located on an intensification corridor, makes use of existing services, supports the public transit, and provides a design that an infill design for this intensification corridor. The second section of policy, that I just like to highlight is the mixed use policies. And these policies pertain to lands along the city's intensification corridors. And a few key points to highlight. Developments shall be medium and high density development when along intensification corridors and support a mix of uses, including residential, commercial, and institutional uses. They shall facilitate multimodal transportation in a variety of housing forms, which is being provided with this development. They shall foster a vibrant and compact and pedestrian-oriented environment. They shall establishing intensification corridors as a focal point of activity and destination for the surrounding neighborhood. And the zoning bylaw, lastly, the zoning bylaw grants additional height permissions for mixed use buildings that incorporate active street level uses. And in this case, the building is permitted to have a height of 25.5 meters as it provides the mixed use component along Essa Road. So in conclusion, the subject application proposes a development of an 8-story building, approximately 25.5 meters in height, providing 115 dwelling units, 6 townhouse units, 103 condo units, 6 mixed-use units, of which 15% would be affordable housing units, with 100 parking spaces. If the proposed development would provide an opportunity for cost-effective and responsible mixed-use intensification that makes use of existing services, infrastructure, and facilities as it relates to the official plan policies that I just highlighted. The proposed development is an appropriate location for mixed-use intensification within the city limits. And thank you. And like I said, I'm more than happy to address any comments, questions, or provide clarification on any of the materials that I showed tonight. Thank you.